All right, hold on. Before we start this, I need to fix something real quick because this is getting ridiculous.
What's wrong, honey?
Okay, so I don't know if you've been catching this, but some weird shit has been happening. I think Agnes has been screwing up the last couple of vlogs that we've done. And this video is already going to be long enough without it turning into a glitchy mess every 5 seconds. So I just need to fix something. That should hold us until the rest of the video. Hey guys, James MCD Reviews here. I'm back with Anne Glendolyn, my girlfriend, for the season finale of WandaVision. I say season, it's probably more like series because we don't know for sure whether or not this particular show is going to continue or not. But even if it doesn't, what a fucking way to go out, man. So basically, this episode caps off the ending of, well, not the complete ending, but pretty much the ending of Wanda's story in Westview. We see her final showdown with Agnes or Agatha, who is basically trying to steal all of her chaos magic and become like the most powerful witch in the world. Meanwhile, White Vision has made his way into Westview and is trying to kill everyone. And the quote unquote real Vision has to hold him off and protect Wanda and the kids. I like how in this episode, everyone gets like kind of their own bit of action. Like you have the main conflict between Wanda and Agatha. Vision and White Vision are tussling. The kids get involved. Monica gets involved.
Darcy gets involved.
Yeah, Darcy comes in out of nowhere and fucks Hayward's shit up. The only one who doesn't get a piece is Jimmy because he gets locked out of the hex before it closes. But it's just a really epic climax and something that the show has definitely been building to, and it totally paid off. And at the very end, Wanda embraces her, I guess, destiny, hones all her power, becomes the Scarlet Witch, and takes out Agatha. Even though she doesn't really take her out all the way, she just wipes her memory and turns her into the nosy neighbor and keeps her in Westview until she needs her again. So I'm glad that they left it open to where if they want to bring her back for another show or movie, they can, because I really liked that character. And at the end, I guess I'll go from there. Babe, what did you think of this episode?
Oh my god. I'm so upset that this is the last episode, but it went out really well. I mean, the way that it fit everything that it wanted to in the series, I think they got everything that they wanted to out, like, in this series. I mean, I'm sure they wanted to include more, but from what we got as a viewer, we're satisfied. We're happy with this. It's like, oh.
I have like the gut feeling that some fans are going to be disappointed because a lot of their like theories didn't come true. Like people were saying, like, even we said at first, like, oh, it's going to end with her opening up the multiverse. And I mean, to be fair, it kind of does with the end credit scene, which we'll get to in a little bit. But people were saying like, oh, she's going to open up the multiverse, or like, oh, it's going to have some really crazy bonkers ending, or oh, there's going to be some sort of secret cameo that shows up at the end with or Mephisto is going to show up, or Nightmare or something like that, or Doctor Strange is going to make an appearance or something like that. And none of those things happened. And I don't know if people are going to be pissed off by that, or if they're just going to accept the finale for what it is, a really fucking good finale.
I'm happy with it. I mean, I can see why the disappointment is there, because like one of the people I was watching, apparently Marvel does a lot of wordplay and they kept mentioning the word nightmare. It's not unlikely that these themes can't still come back up
right
in future shows or in the multiverse movie. In fact, I would say they're even more likely to come up since the Scarlet Witch now has her power and she's got the book that she's studying. Like, who knows
Right. Yeah.
what to do with that?
Yeah. Uh, I do like all kind of the seeds that they planted in this final episode, even though it's wrapping up this, story that's been going on for 9 episodes. It definitely plants the seeds for more stuff going forward. Like, there are 2 end credit scenes this time. There's one at the very end when they're cleaning up the town and everything, and Hayward is being arrested. To which when Darcy crashed into his military van, and when they saw him getting pulled out and arrested, I just went like this to the camera, nah, 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 nah. But so there's an FBI agent that asks to see Monica inside of the movie theater, and she says, "I'm working for an old friend of your mother's who wants to see you up there." And then she turns into a Skrull, which, babe, for you or for those who don't know, are the bad guys in Captain Marvel. Or they
For those
said,
who fell asleep during Captain
yeah.
Marvel.
So, and if you remember the ending of Far From Home, they were also posing as Nick Fury and Maria Hill, while the real Nick Fury was chilling in space. So, planting even more seeds for the Secret Invasion coming up. So, really excited for how that show's going to turn out. And then at the very, very end, we get one more final credit scene after. Where it shows Wanda, she's secluded herself somewhere in the mountains. We think it's just like her trying to, be more zen and be alone so that she doesn't hurt anyone. But then in the very back, you see her Scarlet Witch, I guess, persona reading the dark book that Agatha had, learning just how much power she has, and then she hears her kid's voices calling for help, and then it ends. So a lot of really exciting stuff to look forward to. Wondering how they're going to bring her kids back, because they were also entities of the hex, and they even have that moment during the final battle where she's like opening up the hex so that everyone can leave, and then her kids start to deteriorate, and Vision starts to deteriorate as well, and it's really sad.
So, okay, this is on topic. I'm curious about what they're gonna do with the White Vision, because he has his memories back now.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't go and find Wanda, and that they weren't living together in that shed in probably Russia.
a lot of people also, that's another thing, a lot of people theorize that the main Vision was going to somehow fuse with the White Vision, and that's how that he was going to stay back for future things. I'm glad they didn't do that exactly, because that would have kind of just made Infinity War a really big cop out. But with White Vision gaining all of the regular Vision's memories, it makes me wonder if he is gonna show up at all in the future, or if that is planting the seeds for them to officially bring the real Vision back at some point. I do like how a good chunk of the 2 Visions battle is lasers and punching each other and destroying shit, and then it ends with Vision trying to logic the other Vision to death,
and the other Vision's like, wait, he has a point.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like that's another thing that's going to disappoint a lot of people, because a lot people thought that the White Vision was going to be Ultron, that he was brought back online somehow, but it wasn't. So
man, I gotta rewatch that movie. I don't remember anything.
Honestly, that is the one thing, and I don't know if this was the show's main intention. I mean, it probably was, but I've noticed a lot of, based on just how many callbacks to that movie there are, it seems like one of their main goals was to validate Age of Ultron and make it like a slightly better movie. Which honestly it did. It does make me kind of want to go back and rewatch it now, knowing everything that it leads to.
So
Um,
what was the reason they couldn't bring Vision back online again? Like after he got Thanos?
because the Mind Stone got destroyed, and that was
But
the only thing powering him.
wait, so what's powering the White Vision? Oh,
Um,
wait. It's still Wanda, isn't it? Because they took a part of her power.
yeah, some of her like chaos energy from the drone that went in is there, and probably some other power source that we don't know about. Like we don't know what kind of tech Sword has access to.
Like, are we gonna have to recharge our vision?
Apple presents Vision. Yeah, I'm very curious to see where they're going to go with that character, if they're going to bring him back at all. And at the very end, like I said, Wanda takes hold of her true powers and defeats Agatha, and she turns into the Scarlet Witch. She gets the full comic accurate like headpiece and the outfit and everything, and she looks amazing. That whole sequence is just so awesome. Babe, what did you think of that?
Oh my god. Uh can I just say I love like very strong woman in superhero movies. Like I got almost like WandaVision vibes from her. Wanda Wanda Woman. Wanda
Wonder
Woman.
Wanda Woman.
Wanda
I mean,
Wonder
hey,
Woman.
hey, better than Wonder Woman 84. So,
But I don't know. Her character is just becoming so much more interesting. I mean, not that she wasn't already an interesting character by herself, but just I'm so glad she got her own series. I'm so glad to see her like blossoming in her power. I'm very interested to see where she goes with it and how she potentially opens up the multiverse.
yeah, because
Whether that's going to be another accident.
because people were speculating, because she's supposed to be in Doctor Strange too, and people were speculating that she was going to be the villain in that. So like, I'm wondering, like, does something go wrong? Does she like do her powers kind of take hold of her and like make her turn evil? Does some other outside force like Nightmare or Mephisto turn evil?
You know, that's another thing we can talk about, because Agnes keeps saying, like, you don't know what you're unleashing. You don't know what you're going to do. And that could just be her, like, trying to talk her way into getting into Wanda's mind. But that could also be Agnes, like, knowing about the Scarlet Witch and being while wanting her power, being wary of her.
Yeah, because the lore of the Scarlet Witch is like she's not like a being that should even exist. The fact that Wanda is even around is like a miracle in and of itself, and the fact that she's like supposed to be so powerful that she can destroy the world basically. So I'm this makes me even more excited for Doctor Strange 2 than I already was. And I'm also curious like how this like ties into Spider-Man No Way Home, because like people were saying like, oh, like is the multiverse is going to start in WandaVision and it's going to continue on into Spider-Man 3, it's going to turn into the Spider-Verse. How are they going to bring old characters back and blah blah blah, and then it was going to be solved in Doctor Strange. So they've got me really curious as to how this is going to work.
Oh my gosh. So, like, is the Spider-Man movie going to take place after the Eagle and Falcon, Falcon and Winter Soldier show?
The Eagle and Winter Soldier, the Pelican and the Winter Soldier. Bringing it full circle. It's supposed to see, that's okay. So that's the thing as well with the new release schedule for these shows and movies, like, because I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier was announced first. Like it was supposed to come out first. Like it was gonna be like I think Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and some other stuff. So but now they've like because of the pandemic and them having to push a bunch of shit back and 2021 being a really crowded year for them, they've got like 3 different storylines starting at once. So I'm curious as to see like what ties into what and things like that. I mean, I will give them credit; they do a really good job with their like setup work and stuff like that, and they do a good job tying everything back to each other.
Everybody in that town is gonna be so traumatized.
That is the thing too. Like the people in that town, like there is that scene where they're like, Agatha takes them sort of out of the whole Westview headspace, the sitcom headspace or whatever, and they all circle around Wanda, and they're not even like they're not even like angry. They're not even like the burn the witch or whatever. They're like begging her and pleading her like, please let us out, like we have families, we're hurting every night, we see your nightmares, we feel your pain and everything like that, which yeah is both traumatizing to them and probably traumatizing to her, like knowing
Because
that you
Wanda isn't doing it on purpose either. It's just
right
something that came out of her out of grief. You know, she's only just learning to control the power that she's. Oh my gosh, I was gonna say like, because it feels like a lot of it was like inside, like just kind of sitting up until like she kind of burst from grief.
right um but yeah, that scene was really really amazing and really intense. um and also before we talk about the last bit of the episode, so Pietro turned out to be Ralph, who was Agnes's husband, her off-screen husband, who she would always joke about, like my husband Ralph is blah blah blah. So but I'm curious because he had that like surfer bead necklace around and that's how he was being controlled by Agatha. And then Monica rips it off, and then he's like, "Oh, please don't hurt me," blah blah blah. I'm wondering like if Ralph was his like sitcom persona or his real persona. If like this was Quicksilver the whole time, or if it's just some random dude that happens to be Evan Peters.
Oh, because like I know you were wondering if like he was still like Quicksilver or not, and I'm like, I don't know. My brain is like, was Ralph and Agnes even actually married? Probably not. He was probably cast to be like Agnes's husband, and instead Agnes was like, "You're gonna be my part now," or whatever.
Right.
Let's say, like, go do this with Wanda, mess her head.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see like if that character comes back in any facet at all, because he kind of just comes out of nowhere and then we don't see him for the rest of the episode. But yeah, like I mean, maybe he was a red herring the whole time. I don't know, but and at the very end, they all walk home together as the hex is closing, and she tucks the kids in and says goodbye to them, and she says goodbye to Vision as the house like collapses, and they both disappear, and it's really emotional and sad. And
After she disassembles the house, she goes to Monica and she kind of apologizes to her, but that's like going towards the town as well for all the pain she caused. And like, you believe her. You know that she means well by that.
right,
And that's
yeah,
probably why she leaves, because they're gonna arrest her because she just took a whole town hostage.
right. Oh God. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we're missing.
We learned that Agnes killed all those witches on purpose and like took their power.
Right,
And that wasn't just like
because that's what
she's
she
like, oh,
does.
whoops.
Yeah, she says she takes power from witches who aren't deserving.
And like,
So
I wanted to see her become like a better character, and that might come in the future. She's still like she said, she has that knowledge from like many years of just existing with like magic. It
maybe,
makes me wonder like if there's any other witches out there like her.
I mean, they're probably all dead right now because but they're probably all either dead or in another universe or something like that. But yeah, I'm very curious now that they've established witches being in the MCU. Although they've kind of done that like already with Doctor Strange. It's just they've never gone to it at that level before. So I'm very curious to see how they'll develop that, how they might relate that to mutants and how they might bring those characters in. I'm wondering if Agnes is gonna come back in some form in Doctor Strange too. Like maybe something goes wrong and they call upon Agatha to come back and act as like an anti-hero or something. I really hope so because Catherine Hahn was amazing in this show.
She was pretty great. um, are we forgetting anything?
Um, I don't think so. We mentioned the after credit stuff. We pretty much talked about all the details of the episode. Um, yeah, don't think I don't think there's anything else. So babe, final thoughts on not just the episode, but the series as a whole.
It came to a really great end. Series was like straight 5 out of 5. Oh my god. It has me excited for what's to come next. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not as hyped for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but this series makes me like, well, even though it's probably not in the exact order, it's got me excited for Marvel shows, you know? Like it's got potential. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour movie to be just as good. If anything, it's probably gonna be a little better because you're getting more. Um and I am extra excited for the Spider-Man movie coming this December. You and I are gonna watch it.
Maybe we can take my mom with me, because I know she'll feel left out if I don't take her to a Marvel movie.
Aw. Yeah, we could take her. Your final
Um,
thoughts.
my final thoughts is the show was everything that I wanted it to be. Yeah, there were a few hiccups here and there, but that's just because like watching it on a weekly basis, like it starts off slow and the 30-minute episodes can get like kind of annoying when they leave you on a cliffhanger and then you have to wait a week to watch the rest. But that was only, watching it as it came out. Like now that it's all available and you can binge it, that's no longer going to be an issue. And then like a couple episodes maybe took their time a little bit too long in terms of like the pacing and stuff like that. But that's honestly me really reaching for things to complain about. I thought that the show was absolutely fantastic. I thought it balanced the line between the humor, the drama, the more darker elements, the scarier elements. I thought it balanced all of that perfectly. I thought the sitcom references were absolutely hilarious. I thought the references in general, like this is a show that you could probably watch like over and over and over again and still miss a bunch of details. Like I know we missed a lot of shit in our breakdowns of the episode. And I thought the story was really good. It built to a really satisfying payoff. I thought the acting across the board was fantastic. I think uh, Elizabeth Olsen and Catherine Hahn both deserve Emmy nominations, at least nominations for this show, because they were both fantastic. The emotional moments really hit. The comedic moments were really effective, and I'm just so completely blown away by this show. And if this is the gold standard for the Marvel Disney Plus shows going forward, bring it the fuck on. Like I'm even more excited now for Loki and Falcon and Winter Soldier and Miss Marvel and Hawkeye and whatever other show that they are planning on making. I'm very curious to see going forward, like with this longer format, how they play with genres a little bit now that they've given themselves that freedom to basically do whatever. But yeah, easy 5 out of 5. Easy 5 out of 5 for me. Yeah, I think that's everything.
I think that's everything.
All right. Well,
It's so sad to see it come to an end.
Yeah, I know.
But we've said goodbye before. Surely we'll say hello again.
God damn it, you're gonna make me cry. But
all right, babe,
anyway.
we'll video call again when we watch another movie.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us on this journey. Thank you, babe, for joining me for the entire series. I'm glad that I got to talk about it with you.
I'm glad I could be here. Waking up at 7 a.m.
Yeah. I am going to be doing more TVlog series for the rest of the year. I've made that kind of like my New Year's resolution to watch more TV shows. And I figure the only way that I can do that is if I make a YouTube series talking about them. So next up is going to be Cobra Kai, because my mom won't shut up about me watching it. So I told her I was going to do that after I finish WandaVision. I'm also going to be doing the weekly Falcon and the Winter Soldier breakdowns when that comes out in a couple weeks. And then in terms of other videos, I've got a solo review of Raya and the Last Dragon coming out over the weekend, and another video which I am going to save as a surprise. And then, from there on, we'll just see kind of what comes out and what piques my interest. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know down in the comments what you thought about not just this episode, but the entire series of WandaVision. Did it live up to your expectations? What was your favorite episode? What was your favorite moment? All that stuff. Let me know down in the comments. Again, babe, thank you for joining me. You can find all of her links in the description. And let us know what other shows we should talk about together, because this was a lot of fun. But yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.